What's going on, y'all? So, over the past week, the world has been mourning the loss of a giant in the film industry, Chadwick Boseman, and rightfully so. Over a short time span, this brother has played some iconic roles on screen, from Thurgood Marshall, from James Brown to Jackie Robinson, and to recent, as of recently, King T'Challa of Black Panther, right? And, I made a video the same day that we found out Mr. Boseman was deceased. And I talked about the person that he seemed to be. He seemed to be such a genuine man, a man of principle and morals and integrity. But he seemed to be just a really a beautiful soul, a beautiful spirit that was fun to be around, right? And his co-stars came out and confirmed everything that I was saying, right? They talked about how endearing he was when they first met him, how endearing he stayed. They talked about the beautiful conversations that they had amongst each other. They talked about what a joy he was to be in his presence, and how he was such a kind human being, a kind man, and that was beautiful to hear those words from his co-stars, right? But one of the most profound things that I've heard during the time that we found out that he has been deceased, was I saw that Clark Peters, he was co-stars with Chadwick Boseman on the movie The Five Bloods, right? He was talking about how he misjudged Chadwick Boseman and how it was so wrong for him to do that, right? He spoke about before they started filming the movie, he was excited about working with Chadwick, and he, was excited because he saw the work that he had done, and he was just thrilled to work with him. He said that during the movie, I guess in between breaks, he would see he would see Chadwick Boseman getting his back massaged, getting his feet massaged consistently. And he told his wife that he thought that the success of Black Panther had gone to Chadwick Boseman's head, because he said that the individuals around him seemed to be fawning over him, right? He said they seemed to all be fawning over him, and I thought he seemed to be precious. And he told his wife that. But he says now, in hindsight, he realizes that the individuals on his team were simply just taking care of him during his final moments on this earth, because they knew something that we did not know. We did not know that Chadwick Boseman was dying right before our eyes. We did not know that he was dying. He had cancer the entire time he was filming all these iconic movies, right? All of the Avenger movies and Black Panther and 21 Bridges and so on and so forth. And he spoke about how it was wrong to judge him that way. But it was something that was very powerful, because he admitted something that he was wrong about. He came out and admitted it during a time where it is sensitive. His death is very sensitive. And I want another group of individuals to come out and admit that they were wrong too, right? I want the critics of the Black Panther film to come out and admit that they were wrong. A lot of the huge, big critics, and not to admit that they were wrong for criticizing the movie. I want a lot of those individuals to come out and admit that their reason for criticizing the movie was not even related to the film itself, right? I'll be the first person to admit. Black Panther, was it a perfect movie? It was not. No, it wasn't flawless, but it was excellent. It was an excellent film. Ryan Coogler did a hell of a job filming that movie, and the actors were amazing. They had certain parts that weren't flawless, some things that could have been tweaked or made a little better, but the movie was great. It was phenomenal in general. But then you had people talking bad about the movie, like talking about the movie like it was a disgrace. And for lack of better words, I'm sorry, excuse my language, people were shitting on the film. And those same individuals who were talking bad on the film are now praising the film now that Chadwick Boseman is deceased. They're talking about how groundbreaking the film was, how phenomenal the film was, and how great of a job he did on the film, and how beautiful the movie was in itself. Not realizing that, hey, you got Twitter, we can search those tweets and see what you said when the movie first came out. We saw that you were hating this film. You were hating on this film. Like you were vigorously hating on the film with a passion. And it was like, what is going on, right? And this was the thing. A lot of those people who are now praising the film, they didn't dislike the film. They disliked what they thought the film was going to do, the impact that they thought the film was going to have. You see, a lot of people think when black people are excited about something, in this instance, seeing majority black faces on screen for a Marvel superhero movie, they think that we're going to start a race war. They think that we're going to be running around in the streets attacking any random white person that we see after we see this film. They think that it was going to start causing us to hate white people and so on and so forth. So they thought that the best way to get this film out of there and to get this film from being successful was to discourage people from seeing it by saying that it was extremely overrated, it was overhyped, by saying that they seen way better Marvel movies than this one, by saying things like Marvel could have done without making this movie, they could have gone without seeing this movie, and the whole story was overrated, and so on and so forth. I saw a lot of people spewing that hate out. And again, it had nothing to do with flaws in the film. It was just that they thought that it was going to start a race war, right? And people are triggered. A lot of people are triggered by something that they were triggered by this movie because it made black people excited and happy, right? People were seeming concerned about people enjoying Black Panther, and it made their blood boil because they thought it was going to start a race war. They thought it was propaganda. I saw people calling this film propaganda, like it was something created during these times to make black people angry and divide the nation. Do y'all understand that this movie, like this character has been around since what, 1960s? Since Black Panther was not created out of the blue, out of nowhere, to get black people to rise up and revolt and hate white people. Like, are you crazy? Are you serious? Did you do your research on this character? Absolutely not. You just ran off at the mouth and you just took something and ran with it, right? And I also saw people saying this because black people were excited for the film when they were saying that this is the first movie that has a predominantly black cast on the film, a majority black cast on film during a Marvel superhero movie. That was the first thing. That was the first of its kind to be like that. And people took that as black people saying that it was the first black superhero movie. So they were going around. I saw it in my everyday life. I saw people coming out and saying, it's not the first black superhero. Stop saying it. Stop saying it's the first black superhero. It's not. Black Panther is not the first. Blade was the first. Blade was out before him. Stop it. Blade was out before him. Blade was out. Like, if you don't calm down, if you don't calm your ass down. Everybody know Blade was shot before Black Panther. They were saying that in the Marvel universe, yeah, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not the biggest superhero comic nerd. So y'all can inform me if I'm wrong. In the Marvel universe, T'Challa was the first. The Black Panther itself was the first character introduced, the first black superhero character introduced in the Marvel universe, right? In the comic books, in the comics. So they weren't saying that this was the first film the first black superhero film. At first, they were saying that it was the first film, black superhero film where the cast was majority black, and that it was the first superhero introduced in the Marvel universe, right? But other people took that as, it's not the black hero, it's not the first black superhero. Stop saying it. Stop saying it. They were getting so pissed off. I mean, getting triggered, ready to cry and have a heart attack. And just be upset all the way through and through. Like they were just ready to just clown the movie any chance they could get. And it really boggled my mind. I was like, come on, y'all, for real? And I knew a lot of the hate that the film was getting. Even though the film did wonderful in box office. The film did a great job. It was just adored all across the world. And it showed that a black superhero film, a film with a predominantly black cast, works and sells to the world. You know what I mean? But even with this film being as successful as it was, you saw people just calling it overrated, calling it one of the most overrated films they ever seen in their life. And, this film is just not that good. And I just saw people just attacking the film from every direction, saying that, hey, people don't want to say this film is bad because you're going to be racist if you say it's bad, and people are scared to be racist. And no, bro, a lot of y'all are just scared because y'all think that this movie is going to make black people just be racist and make black people. Y'all heard that Black Panther term in general scared a lot of people because people that don't know about the character in the Marvel universe think that we're talking about Huey Newton. We're talking about Bobby Seals and Fred Hampton and so on and so forth. Like, come on. No, like they thought that was, that word Black Panther, that was really what got a lot of people scared and afraid. So they thought that movie like that with a title like that was going to get black people to attack white people all up and down the street, which is the furthest thing from the truth. As I mentioned, it was other people even outside of black people that were excited for this film. I saw white people excited for this film. I saw Asian people excited for this film, right? I saw Hispanic people excited for this film. I saw all different groups of people from all walks of life excited for this movie. But what I saw a lot of people were afraid of was that they thought that this movie was going to create a race war and black people were going to just go up and attack every white person walking the streets. And it's like, that's the only reason people were talking down on this film in the first place. The only reason people were bashing this film and acting like it was the worst thing to ever come out on screen. Oh, it's one of the most overrated movies. I wish I can get all my money back. I saw those same people saying that are now praising the film and praising everything that the film stood for and all of that, because now it's popular to say the film is good. And now because Chadwick has died and he's passed on, now you want to come out and just fawn over the film itself. Like, for real. So I want those people to do what Clark Peters did, to admit that they were wrong. And that the reason why they said this film was bad because they thought it was going to start a race war. Not because the film was a bad movie, because it was not a bad film. And I know no filmmakers, though, no other people that are paid big money to review films, no big critics called this film terrible at all. They said it had some flaws with some CGI, which I would agree with in the final fight with Killmonger. But overall, the film was a great film. And those critics enjoyed the film and they said it was a great film. Now, if those critics can do that, these people that's on YouTube and calling the movie all type of disgraces and disappointing and telling people don't see the film. And I know one black YouTuber, oh my God, he makes his money just pandering to conservatives across the world. He just said, don't see it. Don't see it. Listen, big cornball, dude. A big cornball. I'm not saying he's a cornball because he's conservative, but he's just a dude that panders a lot. I know a cornball when I see one. He is one for sure. He's just trying to get his money on YouTube without a doubt. But yeah, he's telling people don't see the film, don't see it, and all this and all of that. And it's always created just propaganda to divide the world. And shut up, bro. Shut up, fam. Like, come on. This character was introduced a long time ago. A long time ago in the comics. But I want people to really just come out and say to it and admit what it was. Like Clark Peters courageously admitted that he was wrong for judging Chadwick Boseman and why he misjudged him and why, it's wrong to do that. I want a lot of y'all to come out and say that your hate for Black Panther had nothing to do with flaws in the film. It had a lot to do with you getting scared that black people getting excited about this movie was going to cause us to just run through the streets attacking white people and hating white people. Like, come on, fam. Like, just say that. Because some of it was some disparaging remarks about the film. And I'm like, what? This film was horrible? Who the hell? Nobody, like, for real. Even the biggest critics didn't say it. And not because they were scared to be called racist. No. Because the film was really good. It had holes, it had flaws. But that film was a great film. It was a great movie. And yes, Chadwick Boseman did a hell of a job. Yes, it was groundbreaking. But the movie was great itself. And now people are admitting that. The same people who was acting like the movie was terrible, talking down on the movie, telling people not to see it, discouraging people from seeing it. With every breath they had in their body, they were discouraging everybody from seeing it, trying to discourage people from seeing it, and they were not wanting the movie to do good. I want y'all to say the real reason behind that, the real reason for that. Just say you thought black people being excited about this movie got you triggered because you thought we were going to be running through the streets attacking white people. Say that. But I'm sorry, look, y'all, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. That movie didn't have that effect. And people from all walks of life, from all ethnicities, enjoyed this film and loved this film because it was a great movie. But nonetheless, rest in peace to the great legend, the young legend, Chadwick Boseman, gone way too soon. Did a hell of a job in Black Panther and Get On Up. and 42 in the Thurgood Marshall film. I did not see 21 Bridges. I believe I'm saying that movie right. Is it 21 Bridges? Let's see. 21 Bridges. Yeah, 21 Bridges. I didn't see that. My sister raves about it. She really, really enjoyed this film. I gotta check that one out as well. But and I didn't see the Five Bloods either. I gotta check that out too. But yeah, man, rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. But I want people to come out and admit something. Admit your hate for Black Panther had nothing to do with flaws in the film. It had everything to do with you fearing that black people being excited about this movie and raving about this movie and, you know, being super excited to see it triggered you because you thought we were going to just come out the movie hating white people. Just say that. Machiavelli Mills TV. Peace.